Hey, yo, everybody.
Am I muted? It says,
And
unmute. Unmuted.
I, I have to mute us for the
Hmm.
intro because otherwise it still hears
Yeah.
us even though we're not on screen.
What always throws me is that when it says unmuted, I never read the un. So I'm always just like, am I still muted?
It's like Sam muted you. Sam muted you.
Yeah. I'm like, no, I get it. Like, but
Like,
can I
no, I
talk?
understand. She told me to shut up, but do I unshut now?
Well, and what was really funny is I was shoveling food into my mouth and then looked up and saw 6 seconds left, so I started going like, and just like really like speed eating in those last six
You're like,
seconds.
not a chipmunk it.
Yeah, because I had a mouthful of corn.
Also, hey, welcome back, JC. For those who don't know, CB and I were literally just streaming our book talk for The False Prince because between poor time management and migraines, she always reads the book last minute. And she was like almost done with it. She's like, "Can we push the stream back an hour?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine." And she's like, "Can we push it back 30?" I'm like, "I think we can do 15 because I do stream tonight." And she's like, "Okay." And she's like, "Our streams never go longer than an hour anyway." And I'm like, "Depends on the book, but it's fine." It's fancy seeing you here as well. Hey, yo, Eva, and welcome. Look. You know what I did? I took my vest off and I pulled my hair back, and now I'm a different person. Because this is the vest that I had on. Other than that, nothing has changed. Oh, I do need to call my child down here. It's
uh,
thundering now, and my dog doesn't like it, so I need
hmm,
somebody to babysit the dogs.
uh, I would just like to share, if I may, the 45 minutes before stream, or really hour.
Uh huh.
So, so our story begins on Saturday
Do we?
when. Mhm.
No, go ahead. I'm starring the comment so I know where.
Oh, gotcha.
Go on.
So our story begins on Saturday afternoon, where I go to a local food market that has it's basically like a big farmers market. So I go there and I start buying some stuff. And to the people that don't know, I'm a big like foodie guy. So I'm quote getting inspired and like I'm like okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna like do a whole roasted fish with some of these local greens and stuff. Do a corn puree, all this fancy stuff. So I did that on Saturday. It was great, and it was way easier than I anticipated. It only took me like 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So then today I still have all of the like I still have leftover like citrus and herbs and greens and stuff to do the like I didn't use them all. And the whole fish that I roasted, a bron, I can it's, I always get the name of this fish wrong. Branzino. Branzino was on sale, and I'm just like, it's on sale. It's kind of an easy-ish dinner. I have all the stuff for it already. Yeah, let's just do it again. Fire it back up. Do it on Monday night for dinner. What I didn't count on in my time management here is the act of eating a whole roasted fish is a slow process because there's a
Yeah.
skeleton in there you got to look out for.
Yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
have not eaten a whole skeleton fish, but Chris loves, or there's this one
It,
place in town that he loves specifically ordering their giant fish.
yes. I mean,
So
that's quite literally like my favorite food is a whole roasted fish. But so like so I sit down to start eating and it's like 7:45, 7:50. And so I for the last 10 minutes have been just like using my fingers like a maniac tearing into this roasted fish so as to not choke on bones and to not have to do that on stream in front of all of you. So like I haven't cleaned anything up. There's a literal fish skeleton just off camera here. Uh, I've got a sink full of fish nonsense, and I still have some corn and tomato on my plate that I'm gonna have to just slowly take bites of.
that's fair though.
Yeah. So that's been my last hour.
I very frequently will make dinner before the stream and then just eat it during the first sprint because
Yeah.
I don't like I like things to be thoroughly cooked and therefore rather hot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to eat things that are very hot though. So I have to have a cool down period.
Yeah. No, see, I'm a big like
You're
eat
a,
out
if
of the
it
skillet.
yeah, if it blisters the tongue, it
Yeah.
blisters.
I think I've just built up an immunity to heat in my mouth.
I've done the same with my hands. So like my daughter and I baked cookies for Chris last night. I made banana cranberry oatmeal cookies. Oh, with pecans because she was like, "Mom, we have pecans. And Dad really likes pecans." And I'm like, "Okay, crush them up. We'll throw them in there."
Sounds delicious.
Like I was talking to somebody and I'm like, "That's the lovely thing about cookies. You have your base ingredients for how the cookie does, and then you can just throw whatever in there. It does not matter. It's a cookie as long as it tastes good together." It's fine. So, and when the cookies came out of the oven, she and I were going to watch a movie, right? So, like, we were like, okay, let's get these in the cookie tin that my husband and I got just for his cookies. It's like a really big inside joke because when we saw cookie tins like that as kids in the house, quite frequently they had sewing materials.
Oh, I know the tin you're talking about. Yeah.
So he was like, so he got the tin and he's like, "Are we going to get it for our sewing materials?" And I'm like, "No, that tin will have cookies and cookies only." So it's when I bake him cookies, they go specifically
in the tin.
So I was just like, I told her, I'm like, "Okay, you might want to, wait a couple minutes for it to cool down before you taste one of them." And she's like, "Can I just eat it fresh?" And I'm like, "If your mouth can handle it, sure. I don't care. Just don't burn yourself. You're 10. You got this." And then I start putting them in the thing, and she picks up a cookie. It's a little hot, but she just blows on it, and then she starts eating. And then she looks at me, and she's like, "Mom," because she starts trying to pick them up too. She's like, "They're a little." She's like, basically, the way we do it looks like one of those memes where it's like day one lifting hot cookies, a year after lifting hot cookies. And she's like, "How do you do that?" And I'm like, years of practice, and I have nails that can help me cheat if a cookie is particularly hot.
In my house, we called those mom hands, which is that mom hands are immune to heat.
They are. You try to flip the pancake. Like, if I crack an egg, like I can crack an egg one-handed, right? Mm-hmm. For yolk eggs, I very specifically like to crack them one-handed against the pan itself.
Yeah.
So I'll do it like in the pan and then pull it out. Occasionally doing it that way, though, I'll get like a little piece stuck under the thing. I will stick my finger directly on that piece of egg and then slide it out.
Yeah.
And my children are just like, "You said don't touch the pan with your finger when it's hot." I'm like, "I'm not touching the pan." Yes.
I've seen my mom just like scoop things really quick out of boiling water, and I'm just like, "You're insane."
It's because we've been doing it since we've learned to cook. So.
Yep.
I thought I was just imagining that she looks super different. Thanks for that's why when people like talk about those makeovers in movies and stuff, and it's like, "Oh, they only did one or two things," and I'm like, literally, like I wore my hair in a ponytail every day at school. Literally the days I decided to wear my hair down, suddenly my friends did not know who I was. It like took them all a moment. So I'd like go up to them. So like, "This is normal school, Sam." And then that day I would just be like, "Hi guys," and they're like,
"Who is that?
Who the fuck?
That's a different person."
And I'm like, "It's me." And they're like, "Oh, Sam." And I'm like, "Yeah." So it's magic when you're so used to someone looking a specific way.
Yeah.
The thunder is indeed loud when you can hear it. I heard it right by my window, but I was like, we're just going to ignore that.
No.
I'm already thinking bed sounds nice, and it's barely after 7. It happens sometimes.
Yeah. An afternoon nap is part of why I was so rushed to eat today. Yeah, it hasn't been storming here, but it has just been raining all day, so I'm like, let me sleep.
I had to clarify a typo in my last message to Fox. The typo the typo drastically changed the sentence. And it was a sentence where it's like, oh, and then this is now a thing. And he's like, I hope you mean now. But I wrote this is not a thing. And he's like, I hope you mean now and not. And I'm like, yes, I do. It's amazing how one letter changes your meaning.
My employer, our HR department, sent out an email a few months ago, and I forget what the word was supposed to be. Oh, it was supposed to say pantry, and this went out to the whole company. It was supposed to say pantry, and it instead said panty.
It's a very different thing.
Very different thing. It was because it was about a seminar that our company was having that was about pantry staples, and so it was instead a seminar about panty staples.
These are the panties that everybody should have in their wardrobe.
Yeah. These are a necessity.
These are the necessities. If you have these, then you're good. All others are extra. Eva bought paint. I'm going to paint the walls and ceiling of my hallway tomorrow green. Ooh, nice.
Ooh, nice.
I want to paint my ceilings, but I currently have popcorn ceilings, so I have to scrape that off first.
Oh, what shade of green?
Yes, that is important. Also, I can hear Vi wanting to fight the thunder. I called my youngest in here because my oldest isn't answering, so I assume he's sleeping. And I was like, the dogs need a babysitter. And she was like, okay. And I'm like, you didn't have my TV. And she's like, okay.
There.
It's like the enthusiasm changes. The doors and trim are 1981 builder grade, original to the house. The floor is carpet. I can only afford paint. That is fair. Also, we should do our intros at least once a month, Matt, because I had to do my intro for the Storytellers Hearth opening yesterday, and I almost forgot it.
Yeah. No,
Out
yeah.
of practice.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, as neither of us.
I was kind of like, yeah, we should, but you start.
We should, but after you do, we'll do it for the movie next week.
Okay. Yeah. Oh God, that's next week.
That is next week.
I need to watch a movie.
So do I, but guess what? I also work a convention this weekend, so I will probably be watching my movie Monday afternoon.
I will probably be watching mine Friday night, Sunday night, maybe.
And then you'll have to hold it in.
Yeah, we'll see where life takes us.
But, ooh, lime green's pretty. Also, what are you going to be working on today? And Matt, what are you going to be working on today?
I will be working on editing, but the first sprint will be spent cleaning my kitchen and taking out some fish carcasses.
Oh,
yeah,
the whole carcass, not just the bone.
Yeah, I mean, there's a head and tail on that puppy.
Did you eat the eyeball?
I didn't eat the eyeball. I did eat the cheeks, though.
You should at least try the eyeball. Chris says it's the best part.
I'm gonna be okay. I'll be okay. But I do the head does have some fantastic meat in there, I will say. Also, I should say that when I read Vine Leaf, it did psychic damage to me because my brain went to Pokemon.
I was saying
combining Vine Whip and Razor Leaf, like the two classic grass moves, and I'm like, oh no.
So, apparently, if it has been at least 90 days since you've played Pokemon Go and a friend sends you an invite back link, you and your friend get this special series of milestone achievements for you to continue playing. My sister was telling me she had started playing again, and she got... The friend is a mutual friend of her and her husband, right?
Mm.
So she got him to start playing again, but didn't know about the link. Well, because he found out about the link and then invited her husband. Now her husband and that friend have the special quest, but she doesn't. And I was like, I'll play again if you want the special quest. So now I have to play. I have to check in at least every day to see things. And like when I clicked the link at first, she's like, why isn't it working? Why did it take you to that page instead? And then I clicked the thing and it was like install. And I'm like, because I haven't installed it on my new phone. Hold on.
Yeah, my brother still plays Pokemon Go, but I have not for quite some time.
Jeepers creepers. Where'd you get them peepers? The fish.
The fish.
Bella's late trying to catch up. That's cool. Just put us on ×2. You better hope and everyone's weekend went well. That's what I do when I come into a stream late. I'm like, if I go in now, I won't have context. And so I go back to the beginning and then I put them on ×2 and it's like, I'll catch up. RP's going to be working on book 2 for his whip, maybe theory crafting some Magic the Gathering decks because a friend of mine is going to start a Magic the Gathering channel. Oh, nice. Excuse me. Hello to Bella. Magic the Gathering keeps announcing their new Final Fantasy cards, and so Chris keeps showing me the new Final Fantasy cards. This morning, he was a brat. He was like, they made a Sid card, and I'm like, okay. And he's like, can you guess which one? And I'm like, because of his tone, I'm like, I assume they went with the Final Fantasy VII Sid. So I was like, Sid Highwind. And then he goes, all of them. And then it like shows 20 Sid cards. And I'm like, that's not fair. You said A.
Cheating.
How dare. So rude. Didn't even give me a chance to be correct. Eva is drafting an old story, but from scratch with a new outline. I finished earlier today. I don't know if I'll draft tonight or bounce for bed, though. JC is going to be doing some editing during the stream.
Solid.
Eva will be working on Project Arrow is a high fantasy with a lot going on. Started in 2012. Haven't looked at old notes or draft scenes yet, but there's about 99K words worth on another laptop. I wish you luck in your organizing of your old material. I will be, because it's Monday, I'm going to be doing a lot of adminning stuff, checking my emails. The Storytellers Hearth, yesterday we announced the June dates for the upcoming event. The June dates will be the 20th through the 22nd. Host applications are open. The host and co-host availability sheets are also there if anybody wants to fill them out. So I guess I'll be checking on that as well. I'll have an audiobook playing because I finished The False Prince on Friday because we were supposed to stream on Saturday. So my sub-threshold of OCD refused to let me acknowledge that I am perfectly capable of reading other books before the book talk.
No.
So I haven't done any reading. I had gotten ahead of my reading, so I'm not that far behind. So I'll put an audiobook on while I do my admin-y things to get my daily reading done, and then I can do other things. I've never played Final Fantasy, but I'm loving the previews and the flavor of the set. I love that. One of the things they did that I really enjoy is Final Fantasy VII has this carnival date event, and depending on who you have the highest affection levels with, depends on who you go on the date with. If you have tanked your affection levels with the love interest, but you've risen them with some, like, your friends, you can go on a date with Barrett, and he's just like, it's a spiky head. Why'd you invite me out? Like, why? And they have a card for each one. Like, they have different artwork. So it's the same card, does the same thing, just different artwork. And I'm like, that's great.
Gosh, Final Fantasy VII rocks.
It's going to bankrupt me trying to get all the anime alt arts from the set. Yeah, I have a feeling we're about to spend money on magic again. Let me just sign up to host as part of that relay. Sounds like a me thing to do. Unsure of being sarcastic or not, Eva, but I support you signing up. Uh, I forgot to set up the timer in the other tab, so.
I keep thinking there's a bone in my throat. I don't think there is.
I went to my YouTube homepage, and the top video says Sailor Moon is gayer than you remember. And then it says the magical gay girl. And I'm like, I don't think you understand how many times I've watched that show. I am perfectly aware of its level of
Don't assume my
assume
memory
things of me. Like, everyone, like, so many of them were probably bi. And then Orlando's Revenge, like the one right next to it is Orlando's Revenge. Raven finally breaks her silence, and I'm like, these are two drastically different.
This is why we've spoken about like second person rarely being our jam, because neither of us like it when people presume things about us.
Right, especially on Sailor Moon here. I'm like, excuse you?
Like,
One of my
you'd feel this. Oh, do I?
One of my favorite things in a row, or sorry, not in a row, I saw Eva's last comment. One of my favorite things as a child was the love square that goes on in episode or in season 3. Because you've got Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask are a canon couple at this point, right? But for some reason he's got like his character development and arc. I don't like it. I don't like him. She should break up with him. I was still angry about last season because last season he was all like, we can't be together. We got to break up. All because he got some weird ominous message in his dreams that if they get married, she'll die. And I'm like, just tell her that. Just come on now. She's fucking the most OP character in this series, but whatever. No, we can't be together. And he acts like he hates her. He's giving his friend Andrew's little sister a ride because she needed to bring Andrew his lunch. And like Sailor Moon is all like, oh, is that like your new girlfriend? And instead of clearing it up, he's just like, it's none of your business, blah, blah, blah. I fucking hated him in that season. I'm like, no, dump his ass. You don't deserve this heartache. So by the time the next season comes around, I'm like, you have so much to make up for, sir. I need you to grovel.
Beg.
I need you to beg, motherfucker. So but enter Sailor Neptune and Sailor Uranus, right? Which they're girlfriends, right? It's canon. They don't hide this. Sailor Uranus is very mask presenting. Like they initially mix Sailor Uranus up as being a guy because she wears the boys' school uniform. Right. And yeah, when confronted about this, she's just like, I just like men's clothes and I'm into sports. Doesn't make me any less of a girl. But I also don't care what you call me. So, and I'm like, I've never felt more seen than in this moment. Sailor Uranus is me. But yeah, so Sailor Uranus finds Sailor Moon very cute. And she flirts with her all the time in front of her girlfriend too. And her girlfriend just gets mildly irked. She's just like, really? What?
Annoyed.
Why? And she's like, because she's cute. And she's like, you need to stop joking. And she's like, who says I'm joking? And she's like, bitch. Dead ass, you want to bring a third into this? Okay, hold on. I'm in the Momoru. And she's all like, excuse me, you into a dude? That's ruder.
That's more rude.
We are supposed to serve her. At least, like, there's some dynamic kinks going on here. Him, that is a man.
Hey, that is a man.
And Neptune's just like, I've dated boys before. And we're like, oh, go by, queen. So then there's this whole rivalry going on that's like essentially who can seduce who. And I'm like, I loved that as a child. I was like, make him work for it.
Yeah.
Like I love this.
You gotta earn his keep.
And then like at the end of the season, they're all like, Sailor Moon, you like almost sacrificed the universe to save one baby. And Sailor Moon's like, but I didn't. I kicked the bad guy's ass, saved the baby, saved the universe. What, you know? And then they're like, we don't think you deserve to be the queen. And she's like, okay, bitches. And they're like, so fight me. And she's like, I'll take you 2v1. And then she does. She kicks their ass 2v1. And they're like, she is our queen. Forgive us for
everything we ever said.
And I'm like, and you're telling me I don't remember how gay Sailor Moon was? That's one of my favorites. Rude. I almost forgot the point I was leading up to too, because I just love Sailor Moon, and I was like, why was I talking about this? But like, also I forgot I was setting myself a timer. I was so offended.
Yeah, yes.
I forgot everything.
Goes, okay, we're pausing everything.
Nothing else matters until I prove how gay Sailor Moon was. Also, in season 5, I've got the timer up. In season 5, like, what happens is, I have to go slow so I don't just ignore the timer. Okay, we're set for when we start sprinting. Season 5 is about these other starlights that they come, these Sailor Scouts, they come from another planet, right? And they're like kind of alien-ish. Well, they decide that the best way to camouflage themselves on Earth is to be a boy band. So they are a 3-person boy band. You see them topless and stuff several a time. They are boys. And then they transform into females. Mm-hmm. And like their pronouns change from he to she. So they're gender fluid. Yeah. Right? And Seiya, Darien, like Mamoru, he made it up to me in season 3. He is kind of okay in season 4, but then at the beginning of season 5, he's all like, I'm going to fly to America to study college. He proposes, they'll get married when he gets back, and then he dies. And Sailor Moon doesn't know what happened. She doesn't know he did. All she knows is he's not answering her phone calls, and I'm like, this motherfucker fucked up again. How dare he die?
How dare he die?
And Sailor Starfighter, Seiya, he is like madly in love with Sailor Moon. Or no, he is in love with Usagi, her secret identity. And then Sailor Starfighter also gets a thing for Sailor Moon. So he like double love her. And I'm like, Darien, you're going to have to come back and do something or I'm off the ship again. Like, I am switching harbors every season. And then like, he does, like they fight the big bad. They come back at the end, and it shows that when the big bad had come to this planet to like take over, and like she knew he has the like star crystal for Earth because he's the like, if you're a girl, you're a scout. If you're a boy, you're a knight. Mm-hmm. With the exception of the Starfighters. So he's the Sailor Scout of the Earth. So he had the Earth crystal, and like the big bad ate that and then was like, or she was like, your planet's doomed. And he's like, no, because my planet has the greatest hero of all, Sailor Moon. And even though I'm dying here, she's going to kick your ass. And I'm like, you have redeemed yourself again.
You can stay.
You may be her husband. And then like at the end of the series, right, everybody finds out everything. Seiya like confesses his love. He's like, Sailor Moon, I love you so much. I want to, do all this. And she's like, I like you a lot too, and I think we should fight together forever. And he's so heartbroken. What does Mamoru do? He just pats his shoulder and he's like, I'm sorry, man. Like, basically, he's like, you shot your shot.
Hey, man.
You are not the first to try to win her away from me. It's just not happening. And I'm like, we love a man with confidence who is secure.
Yep.
He's not giving possessively jealous. He's giving, I'm so secure. I don't care if she has a harem.
Go nuts.
Go nuts with all of your loves. So I'm like, no, I remember. I know. I know how queer
I'm
Sailor
so
Moon is.
aware.
Sailor Mars and Sailor Venus always together pose in certain ways that make people go, but are they straight? And I'm like, there is no straight scout in Sailor Moon. They are all bi. Except Sailor Uranus. She is very confidently a lesbian.
Yeah.
I don't know about Pluto. She like is and isn't like Sailor Pluto is paired with Uranus and Neptune to raise Sailor Saturn, but she's not like in the couple.
Which makes sense for Pluto, because that's how it is as a planet as well.
Exactly. So it's like she's co-parenting, but she's not in the romance.
Yeah.
So. And of course, Saturn is a baby, so she's not. Although many people ship her with Mini Moon, which is fair. Fair. I was gonna say same age group, but I'm like, I don't know, that's confusing. Mini Moon is roughly 6 years old physically, but is like several thousand years old. Apparently the moon people just age real fucking slow. But then when she's with Sailor Moon, she starts aging normally. And Saturn was 12, but then she died and was reborn as a baby. But then she like goes from being baby, or like she goes from being like 1 or 2 to 12 really quickly between like at the beginning of season 4, because she's like, something is coming to threaten our queen and I have to age up.
I gotta be older for this.
And I'm like,
that rocks.
She's like, because like her 3 moms are sitting there and they're like, she's growing real fast, don't you think? Like, yeah, she was like 2 yesterday, now she's like 5. They're like, this is not how babies age. And then like Sailor Saturn sends them a message that's all like, I need to get to 12 so I can release my death magic. So I can.
So you know how it is.
Y'all know how it is. And they're like, yes, our queen is in danger. And then they're like, cries, tear, we have to go back to fighting as warriors again. And they're like, yeah, because if we don't, our queen is fucked. Because like they are largely not in season 4. And the like reason for that is they left Japan to raise Saturn or something like that. And like when the threat of season 4 comes in, they're like, they didn't get any premonitions because basically Sailor Moon and the others can handle it without them. And I'm like, oh, that's nice. They've got like a danger meter.
Yeah, they're like, it's 6. They got it.
Also, we'll do the sprint after this. This is just one like. So Sailor Uranus, after deciding that she, in fact, cannot seduce Sailor Moon away from Mamoru, starts to take on a more brotherly role for Sailor Moon. So in season 5, she sees Seiya trying to, like, sweet talk Sailor Moon and, like, just becomes a cock block. She's like, this is my Usagi. And Seiya's like, who the fuck is you? And Uranus is like, someone more important to her than you. And Usagi's like, yeah, this is feeling really aggressive, and I don't understand what's going on.
I'm so lost.
Uranus is basically like, I gotta step in for my brother-in-law. He's not here. And I'm like, it's real funny when you tried to steal her from that brother-in-law.
He moved on.
Sailor Moon deserves the 1990s anime deserves a true reboot that modernizes it so that it can take out the monster of the week aspect, which is what makes it so hard to watch. Because a lot of people get tired of the repetitive formula of the episode because of the monster of the week.
Yeah.
But like it had so much character growth, so much like development, the arcs. Like if you compare what the characters look like in season 1 to what they look like in season 5, you can tell they have aged 3 or 4 years. Like you look at season 1, you're like, they're not 14. Then you look at season 5 when they're 17 and you're like, oh no, they were babies.
Yeah.
So it's just Crystal is a good adaptation of the manga, but I like the 90s anime, so I wanted to have a good reboot so that more people will watch it. But now that my ego has been assuaged and I have proven myself to
to YouTube algorithm.
Yes.
Now it
Not
knows
that
better.
anybody needed me to prove it.
You're gonna get a new video in your recommended that's just like, you know everything about Sailor Moon already.
Everything Sam knows about Sailor Moon.
Yeah, everything
Did we
Sam knows
find
about
more?
Sailor.
Question mark. No, now I need to harass CD too, because we never finished the Sailor Moon Let's Talk series with Cody.
Yeah.
We got pretty far. We got to like season 4, so we've only got like 2 seasons left.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So Bella, I don't remember. I saw this. I don't remember if I read it though. So Bella finally caught up. Is putting the language words into draft 2. Then I'll likely be working on the Polywerewolf story. So I'm gonna ask the question. You answer it. I'll get to it next break. But have you finished making all of the conlon that you needed, or did you need more words? Because you had us test them. So.
Oh yeah.
I'm curious. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Hey yo, and we're back.
Kitchen has been cleaned and animal parts have been disposed of into a dumpster.
Well, that's good. Also, not ominous sounding.
No, I chose the
So
best way to phrase
I
that.
I tried to listen to my audiobook, but I don't know if it's the storms or just that I am very excited about the idea of returning to anime Let's Talks. Um,
Mm,
so because I normally I can listen to the audiobook and I'm good and I process everything as I'm like, typing simple messages and stuff, but I'd be like, oh yeah, we can do 2 4 phase and da 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 da, and then like the audiobook and I'm like, wait, what the fuck's been happening? So I had to turn that off and then I put a video on to listen to, which I had actually um I promised that I would watch it last night or this morning, and then I had forgotten about it. But they were like, "Hey, are you gonna watch that video?" I was like, "Oh, I'll go do it now." But I got 5 minutes into the video, and my internet was like, "This video will no longer load."
it said, actually, you're done. You got a preview, and that
You're
was it.
checking. You're checking emails in a storm.
No,
No video
no,
for you. And I'm like,
shall not.
rude, so rude. But yes. My Cody and CB are my current Let's Talk anime co-hosts, and I was like, "Y'all want to finish the Sailor Moon Let's Talks? We had like 3 more to do," and they were like, "Yes, let's do it." And then I was watching a bit of the last one that we did because I was trying to remember, because the way we started it is Cody and I we rewatched Sailor Moon season 1, and then CB had never watched it before. So, because that's how I kind of do the Let's Talks for things.
Hmm.
I'll have 2 people who know a lot, and then one person who doesn't.
Yeah.
Um, and so, but she had loved our descriptions of Sailor Moon season 1 so much that she wanted to watch Sailor Moon, and I was like, oh well, we can continue this, but with CB being a season behind.
Hmm.
And when you throw the movies into the mix, I was like, were we counting movies as seasons or separately? And we were counting movies as a season. So, which she now has to watch the 3rd movie, and then Cody and I need to watch season 4, which also funny timing. I called my sister because my sister was doing the rewatches with me, and we've never seen season 5 in English because
Oh.
they just recently dubbed it in English. Well, recently now. Uh, I'm Southern. Recently can be
Yeah,
yesterday,
whenever.
years ago. Released the English dub, so she and I wanted to watch the English dub for season 5, and I like messaged her, like I was like, hey, because she works nights now, so on days that she's off, I'm supposed to like call her and see, if I'm up for it, to see if she's free and we can watch stuff. And I was like, hey, you want to watch Sailor Moon? And she's like, yeah, let's do it. And she's like, I can only do it until like 4 though, because I want to try to get a little extra sleep. And I'm like, works
Yeah.
for me. And then I was like, where does Sailor Moon stream? I fucking forgot it's on Hulu. Chris and I don't have Hulu anymore because it kept signing us out, and that pissed me off.
Hmm.
Well, okay, it didn't just sign us out. It signed us out and then would tell me the password was wrong.
Oh.
And then I'd do change password to the exact same password. And then the next time it would be like, your password's wrong. And so we were like, you know what? There's nothing on Hulu that's not on any of our other services. So we don't need Hulu. And this is the first time this has been an issue,
Hmm.
is that we don't have Hulu. And my sister was like, worst come to worst, you can like come over and we can watch it on the living room TV because Dad signed into his Hulu there. She's like, our parents are asleep, so I don't want to go get the password right now. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, it's fine. Worst come to worst, we could just watch the Blu-rays that I own. Like, I own it. We don't actually need a streaming service. It's fine. This was just for convenience.
Yeah.
So I don't have to do it because like I have this little Sailor Moon section in my closet, and I'm like, I just didn't want to have to get up in there, disturb my pyramid to get
Mhm.
the later season. So yeah. But yeah. Bella said finally caught up, and I'll be. Oh wait, that was the last thing said. Okay. Heather has a little bit of admin stuff she hasn't done, but I want to work on finishing up my edits for the Fairy nonfiction book. Ooh. Oh, also, Matt, what did you get done? And chat, update us with what you got done.
I got kitchen cleaned, was my achievement, and poured drink into a cup. Those were the things I've achieved.
Fair enough. Oh, right, you said everything you did at the beginning. Oh, I'm sorry, the storm taking me out. I can't even
You're
listen
good.
to the book, Matt. The point of asking you to read the words was to get an idea of how people would read them, but over the week I was able to discuss with a friend, and I got pretty much decided on anything. Awesome. Well, that's fine. I just, like I said, I wanted an update to see if you had done, or if you were just taking a break, so thank you. Yes, JC, he ate a whole roasted fish and had to dispose of the remains.
The bones and other...
The eyeballs that he didn't eat.
The eyeballs that I didn't eat.
To be fair, I've never eaten. I don't think I've ever eaten a fish eyeball. I just want to harass you about it now.
Yeah. No, that's only fair.
RP said I picked 3. I think to me, it's like if you're going to eat the cheeks, why not also just try the eyeball?
I think I probably tried the eye of a fish before.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure I have. I've had so many fish in my life. I had to have eaten the eyeball at some point. Many fishes.
RP pitched 3 deck ideas on the spreadsheet their friend shared with the group, got distracted thinking of a 4th, and then got about 200 words in the second book in the last 15-ish minutes. 15-ish minutes.
15-ish minutes.
But that's really good, though, RP, and I am all for helping your friends.
Yeah.
And especially when you're having fun helping your friends. That's the best. Bella ended up eating, so didn't start working on the language. I mean, that's, as I told Matt, it is better to eat and be well sated than to go hungry to do work and stuff. You should always eat when able. However, I did realize there was one word I didn't figure out, one that's kind of important, the literal name of the language. That is important.
I want that on a shirt, though. Just, you should always eat when able. Like, just, yeah, you should.
No, see, the thing is, there's a lot on Hulu that aren't other places, but there's not a lot that Chris and I watch that's not on other places. And, like, our anime that we watch, Hulu has a chokehold on Sailor Moon. Technically, it's also on Crunchyroll, but the subbed version, not the dubbed version. Mm-hmm. And again, I own Sailor Moon, so I'm not that worried about it. And for anime, we used Funimation at the time because Crunchyroll was primarily subbed anime, but then like Crunchyroll got better, so we did both of those. And then Crunchyroll and Funimation merged, and so we were like, fuck it. Yeah. We'll just pay for Crunchyroll since they're moving all the Funimation stuff over there anyway. And so, yeah. There's this one series I might borrow my parents' Hulu for a month to watch, or like a couple days. It doesn't take me that long to watch a series usually. It's Why Women Murder. I have been very interested in that one, and it looks really interesting and well done. So, okay, it didn't sound like serial killer vibes at all when you said
no, not at all.
Vibes, but
not at all.
I understand. It wasn't all. He didn't also inflect his words in a specific way to make it sound like that. JC edited through a couple of pages, still chugging along. That's good. Got you about the Hulu. Yeah.
Yeah, as streaming services crack down on password sharing, I consistently just let them go then. Like,
yeah, that's fair.
Like, oh, I can't share passwords.
Has Hulu cracked down on it?
Yeah, I think they have since. I I think they merged with Disney,
They did.
and then I think since that merger, they've started cracking down a little more.
Oh,
Because
I don't know.
I think
It
I got
hasn't-
signed out of my quote my Hulu, and I'm just like, okay, I guess I just won't use Hulu anymore. Like, I don't watch a lot of TV. Anywhere.
Amazon Prime took away their watch party feature for
That's
on the regular level. Like you get the watch party if you go up a level, but they're compatible with Teleparty, which is my favorite watch party
Yeah.
app. So my sister and I were going to watch Vox Machina together. Since we couldn't watch Sailor Moon, we were like, well, fuck this. We'll watch Vox Machina. And then I was like, we go to watch it, and, we get the teleparty set up. We're both in there and stuff. We hit play, and then Amazon's like, yeah, so 2 of you are watching this at once? No.
Like,
and we were
that's
like,
the point of the watch party.
Like, bitch. Because we were using the same account.
Yeah.
And also, and I was just like, we ended up doing a little workaround, but yeah, it was
Speaking
annoying.
of Vox Machina, do you know when season 4 is supposed to come out? Is it next summer?
Perhaps I shall check that, because me and my sister needed to watch season 3, so that's the one we're watching. Vox Machina.
Yeah, Vox Machina is one of the last TV shows I actually watched.
Yes, I know it's been officially renewed.
Slow.
Does it have a release date? Okay, there's still no confirmed release date for season 4.
Yeah.
I like how this is like, there's no confirmed release date, but we assume it will follow the conclusion of season 3. And I'm like, these have nothing to do.
What do you mean you assume it'll follow the conclusion of season 3?
These are 2 different topics. Here's what we know. Beware, beyond this point lies spoilers for season 3. I've seen the whole thing. I mean, I've seen the whole campaign. I know how to skim. I'm risking it for the biscuit. The renewal announcement was 23/2004. I'm not watching it. We estimate The Legend of Vox Machina Season 4 will be released summer 2026 based on previous seasons' timescales.
Gotcha.
See, I got my information, and I wasn't spoiled. I'm the master.
Man, I have to wait over a year for the next season. That's sad.
That's how I would rather wait that extra time.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so it's
for sure.
We cry.
But yeah, sad for me. I started watching The Penguin. That's the show I'm on now. And
I'm trying to finish Inuyasha. I sped through seasons 1 through 5 or 6, seasons 1 through 6, and the movies. I greatly enjoyed it. It was much better than I remembered it being. I had instead of rose tinted glasses, I had soot covered glasses because I just thought it was terrible. And then I rewatched it and I'm like, this show's actually pretty amusing.
Yeah.
It's amazing how your perception of a show changes when you actually see the whole thing and not just the episodes that show on cable out of order.
Crazy.
There's so much I missed. But then I tried. 5 years after the end of season 6, they released the final act, which is the final 30-ish volumes of the manga, I believe. And the voice actors have changed, which is only an issue for me for one character. Unfortunately, that is Kagome, who is a pretty important character. She's one of the main, arguably the main character. And I just hate listening to her now.
Yeah.
Her voice isn't bad. It's just the way the voice acting portrays the character versus how I've known her for 6 seasons is not the same.
Yeah.
Everyone else, the voice actors changed, but the characters feel the same. Well, except Shishomer. He's a little saltier, but I'm like, that's fine. I loved my stone cold, I don't give a fuck unless it has to do with my dad because I have daddy issues, boy. But now he's just like somebody's like, your little brother Inuyasha, and he's like, I've never once considered him my brother. And I'm like, my guy, literally season 1, you would fucking taunt that boy. You're like, huh, yes, little brother. Don't fucking lie to me 6
Don't
seasons
you start.
later. But like, that's fine. I'm like, he's in a mood right now. But Kagome, I just don't know. Something about Kagome. I'm like, could we not? I can't even put my finger on it. So I like watch half an episode at a time and then go back to drop out to watch some Dimension 20. I have this habit, right? I will finish the audiobooks for the year of favorites for the month, and then I will start watching a season of Dimension 20.
Mm-hmm.
And I will get to the season finale, but then it's the next month, so I need to read my year of favorites again.
Oh,
and I will forget that I did that.
Yeah.
So I was like, did I watch the newest seasons of Dungeon and Drag? And then I see that I've watched all but the last episode, and I'm like, oh, I need to watch that. And then I did. And then I was like, okay, where was I? I was also watching The Blood Keep. I was on the last episode of The Blood Keep. And I'm like, I need to stop doing that.
For whatever reason, I love Dimension 20, but I have such a hard time finishing the seasons.
We've had...
Yeah, like, I'll watch, like, 3/4 of it, have a blast, and then be like, okay, I'm done. Bye.
You just don't want to see it come to an end.
I don't.
Like,
but yes. This new season that's about to come out...
Did you do your homework? Yeah.
They have a steampunk season that's going to be coming out soon, and I'm going to try to watch that one as it comes out and see if that helps me, rather than like just having the whole season right there and just chiseling away at it. I think if I watch it just as it comes out, I might actually finish the season.
We'll see.
I think also, like, most of the campaigns, like, I've seen a lot of the, like, funniest moments from them on, like, YouTube compilations. So then it's also kind of like, I'm like, yeah, this is where they're going to do the funny thing. Yep.
Yeah.
Not as funny now because I've already seen it.
That's fair. Hulu is the one that I can't let go of. That's fair. I watch General Hospital on Hulu, and I needs my General Hospital plus all the other stuff I watch on there.
Yeah, Hulu was a tough one for me to lose. Like,
I still have to watch season 2 and 3 of Vox Machina. You should.
You should. It's such a fun show. I really like it.
I will forever not be sad about the first half or the first 2-3 episodes of Vox Machina because they did that thing that a lot of adult cartoons do where it is far raunchier and more sexual and violent in the first couple episodes as, I don't know, this like weird way to sell to like Amazon or streaming services and stuff. Like, oh yeah, no, look, this is an adult show. Haha.
It's for grown-ups.
Look how adult it is.
Yep.
And a lot of my friends hate that kind of humor, or it's hard for them to get through that kind of humor. To be fair, I might not have actually finished the series if I hadn't already loved Critical Role so much. And I'm like, it'll get better. And then I watched it, and then like episodes 4 onward are so different and so much better. And listen, on principle, I fucking hate whenever anybody's like, oh, this insert here is so good, if only you like sit through this much. And I'm like, I should not have to. That's not
I will accept
but
about a couple episodes of, like, if the first couple episodes they haven't hit their stride yet, I get it. I'm not watching a whole season.
With anime, I will give them, I think my rule is 6 to 7 episodes because I grew up in the late 90s and early 2000s where anime would do a tone flip. So like the first 5-6 episodes would be all happy and campy and sweet and fun and whimsical, and then a bomb drops in episode 7 and everyone's dead, and now you're in a post-apocalyptic world where everyone's dealing with trauma, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Or it goes the other way where everything's so dark and grimy and it's oh, it's all hard, and they're fighting just for a scrap of bread for dinner, but they're a little hopeful and stuff. And you're like, okay, we're dealing with sad. And then like after episode 7, they're all adopted by the group mom, and now it's a wholesome slice of life, and you're like, I don't know.
I have whiplash.
So like, that was so fucking common. It was ridiculous. So now I'm like, I'm gonna give you 7 episodes to see where we're going.
Yeah.
Because after that, though, you're not books. I'll read a 20 book series just because I liked book 1, and I'm hoping the rest of them will be good, but not with TV. Yeah. I'll drop those bitches.
No, like with Vox Machina, because I got my brother to watch it, and I'm like, look, first few episodes, just get through them, and then once the Briarwoods show up, that's when the show actually starts, and the tone changes, and it's gonna stay like that for the rest of it. Like, yes. just get to the Briarwoods, and then you can decide if you like the show or not.
Heather's been doing some con admin, writing an email, mostly fun stuff. Okay, fun. I mean that. See, I like doing admin stuff, so I know most people don't. And I have the Disney Plus bundle because I blame Hamilton and Taylor for adding the bundle. It was only $1 extra to bundle it, so it seemed ridiculous not to have both. That's fair. In all honesty, we might have Hulu because we may have that bundle. I just don't know. Signing in is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So, but maybe I'll check. Also, can't wait for the next seasons of Hazbin Hotel and Hell of a Boss. One of those series I promised my sister I would watch with her, and I will not watch it before I watch it with her. The other series my sister hates for some reason, and I don't remember why.
Do you remember which is which?
No, that's why I haven't watched either. It's okay. I know why the series that she doesn't like. Okay, I don't know if she hates the whole series, to be fair, because these 2 series run together for me since I haven't seen either. But I know that her issue is that in one of them, people go to hell and they're in hell and they are repenting, but they're not repenting for why they're in hell. And she's like, that defeats the purpose of repenting in hell. And I'm like, I too have a problem with this. So whichever of them has that premise is the one she does not like. And the other one I am contractually obligated to watch with her. But she and I have a long list of things we are contractually obligated to watch with each other. So
yeah,
it may be a while. I've been watching Apothecary Diaries. It's one of the few I've been keeping up with. Ooh, I want to watch that one.
I haven't heard of that one.
That's on the husband list.
That sounds cool by the title.
It is. It's a period piece. All I know from osmosis, and all I want to know, don't tell me anymore, is that the apothecary is a woman and she's running a business, and the animation looks kind of dark, so there's sneaky things going on and romance, and that's all I need.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, like more information. Yeah.
I need to go back and finish watching Attack on Titan. I know it's ended, but I had stopped watching it at one point because it took too long to come back on, so I need to go back. There are quite a few animes that are like that for me. I was like, you took so long. Oh, but you're done now? Oh, I can binge you. I keep getting distracted with hubby making a snack. We both didn't have around. Just eat, feed. How? There's so many people I have to tell today. Prioritize eating.
I've been eating all day. I've had so much food today. And then I decided I'll eat a fish.
Check for a tapeworm, Matt. Just on the safe side.
You know, if anyone is gonna have a tapeworm, there is a good chance it's me. I'd be eating trash, and
I saw this short, like, I don't know if it was a YouTube short or a reel or whatever, but I watched it. There's this woman talking to her husband, and she's all like, "We've been married 10 years," and he's like, "Yep." And she's like, "And we're really supportive of each other, right?" And he goes, "Yeah." And she's like, I'm supportive of the fact that you ate this potato salad that you left outside for 3 days. And he's like, "It was tasty." And she's like, "Babe, it expired a week ago." And he's like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh no."
Yeah, I'm that guy.
That has you vibes.
Yeah, very much. Just because something's expired doesn't mean you can't eat it.
Chris actually has like this system for.
Bless you. Bless
Excuse
you.
me. I'm allergic to revealing his secrets. No, he has this system that's like different because he knows like companies aren't actually allowed to put the expiration date for the day it expires. They have to put it for like so many days before.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so he was like, no, dairy products are like good for this many days after the expiration date.
Right. Well, and
I go by the nose. If
exactly.
Fine,
go by the nose. Fine. The nose, the look, and the taste.
Because I also know different fridges keep things differently at different times of the year.
Yeah.
The outside humidity of your environment actually affects the inside of your fridge. Heather, making something for myself next sprint, finishing up this email. Nice. Well, then what are they repenting for if not the reason they're there? I don't know. I haven't seen it. I have questions. RP says, so she doesn't care for Husband Hotel then. So the universe of those shows, hell isn't for repenting. You go there for being a sinner and you're stuck. Heaven doesn't let people repent in hell and get to heaven. Wait, then how are they repenting? I'm confused, RP.
Just for the hell of it.
Okay. The first season of Husband Hotel is mostly about the denizens of hell trying to change that. Oh, okay. So they're trying to input a repentance system. I got you. Thank you. Also, I like both shows, but I will say Hell of a Boss is the much better show. Little bias there. No, it's fine. Can I say I related to the romance aspect? No spoilers related to what's going on, but there's a trope I want to mention so people don't get misunderstood. Yes, I will allow for a trope. Even though knowing the trope may spoil things, I'm also very curious and it might not spoil things. So just I appreciate you asking.
Yeah. But I'm of the belief that the more questionable things I ingest,
okay, you're at food.
the more I'll build up a tolerance for questionable things. And
there's validity to that.
Yeah. So, yeah, sometimes I got to eat some funky stuff to build up the old gut health and keep my belly on its toes so that it's not slacking off.
I forget which countries or cultures, but there were ones that, like, the way their apothecary worked was through ingesting poisons or stuff and then turning their own blood into antidotes.
Well, and look, fermented stuff is great for your gut. So
this depends on what is fermented.
It does depend on the control of that fermentation. But in general, fermentation good. So give me all that possibly expired stuff. I'll be fine.
Yesterday, I threw out a container, just the whole container. And my daughter looked at me and she was like, why'd you throw out that container? And I'm like, because we forgot the salad was in the back of the fridge and the lettuce started to liquefy. I didn't know lettuce could liquefy, and I'm not dealing with that.
I will say vegetables,
plastic container.
If they are remotely questionable, gone. I don't mess with questionable produce. I can do questionable meat. I can do questionable dairy. We don't do questionable produce.
Oh, but if your bananas are brown, you can make banana bread.
Yes, yeah, bananas. Bananas never go bad. They never go bad.
For health reasons, they do.
No, you can just make banana bread out of them, no matter how
there is a point of no
be.
return. But also, so when we were at the convention, and my children come up to me. I hoard snacks under the table for when I'm hungry, because when it's just me or it's me and like specific coworkers working, we don't actually order lunch. We just like buy snacks, eat it, and then we have a bigger dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is what I and my coworker who worked with me at MTAC, like, we worked before a lot. This is always our preference, especially since neither of us can actually eat a lot in the middle of a work day.
Mm-hmm.
Like it makes us feel unwell. So we're just like, bigger dinner, good to go. So, but my children come up and they're like not feeling the best. It's their first convention, a little overwhelmed and stuff. And so I pull out a moon pie. And I'm like, y'all want a moon pie? And my daughter's like, yes, I love a moon pie. And I'm like, hold on. And I pull out a bagel with some cream cheese. And I offer it to my one child. I'm like, you want a bagel? Will that make your day better? And he's like, where did you get a bagel from? Where are you pulling all of this from? And I looked at my oldest and I'm like, oh, your sinuses are getting you. We don't want that to turn into an infection. And I pull out an orange. And they're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, don't worry about it. It's my magic trove of snacks.
I was gonna say you're shoulder deep into it.
I am, because it's under the table. So I have to, and like, my restock is at front. So I have to go behind the Berserk boxes to get my snacks. Which my food is guarded by Berserk. No one's taking it.
Yeah.
But and then I tell my coworker about this the next day. My coworker is amazing because what we do is we go down and we eat the hotel breakfast and then we pack things in the to-go cups and that's our snacks. So he grabbed a bunch of bananas and he was like, when your kids come by the booth today, I'm going to pull out bananas out of the card box, out of the card restock. And he did. And the kid, like, my son comes up to me and he's like, why did he give me a banana? And I'm like, because he saw how excited you guys were yesterday about mom's magic food trick. So he wanted to give you magic food. And they go, oh, okay. That was kind of him. And I'm like, it was.
It was.
So I think that may have been the thing that got my children's the most about an anime convention, is just that me and my coworker can magically pull out food.
You can conjure food while you're there.
And so the reason I had the moon pie was the convention was actually really sweet. And like the dealer's room had given us these boxes with like free treats in them. They had like 2 bottles of water, 2 cans of soda, and then like some moon pies. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't really eat moon pies, neither do. Oh, there were moon pies and oatmeal cookies. My coworker likes oatmeal cookies, doesn't really like moon pies. I don't like moon pies, so that's why we just gave them to the children. Well, my another vendor that we are close to, they don't really eat any of that either. So they just kept the bottles of water and gave us the rest. So then the next day I was like, hey, you guys want more moon pie? They're like, where is all the moon pie coming from? I'm like, don't question.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. It's a slow burn. It will take quite some time for them to get together in a way. Oh, okay. That's fair. Ooh, a bagel sounds good right now.
Yeah, I might have to go to the gas station and get a moon pie during the next sprint. That sounds so good. I haven't had a moon pie in like a decade, and that sounds fantastic.
My youngest loves moon pies.
They're a great snack.
Hold on. I want to add another thing. There you go.
Yeah, like there's a gas station within walking distance that I'm just going to sprint to.
Remember how I talked about the fact that I am very supportive of people getting food? This was already there. I was so ready. All right. Go ahead, count us down, Matt.
All right. 3, 2, 1, moon pie.
Hey yo. I finished and well, no, I didn't. Never mind. I answered an email and I'm like, yes, I'm done in my emails. And I'm like, alas, I was wrong. I'm not done in my emails. But I also was listening to the video, so.
I failed on my journey to get a moon pie because the gas station by my apartment doesn't have moon pies. So I had to settle for a zebra cake, which is
I'm sorry.
fine, but no moon pie.
You look so upset. I'm sorry. Also, I say that with no judgment. My husband literally, he bought like packs of glazed donuts for a bit because they're like really cheap to get 6 of them. And the kids and he love glazed donuts. Like the third time he did it, I cried because I don't like glazed donuts, but I love donuts. And I was like, you never buy donuts that I can eat. And like literally I cried over this. And
what kind of donut do you like? Like the chocolate one?
Kinds. Yeah.
I do enjoy
just don't like the melted sugar that they put on the glaze.
See, that's my thing with
it's
my
also
favorite.
Like,
yeah.
The thing, if it's just the donut and that melted chocolate glaze, I still am not a fan of that. But if it has that and a filling, I will it'll be okay. It's something about the melted sugar on top. I don't enjoy the glaze. It's just
my thing with donuts, just in general, is like so I love a glazed donut, but not the glaze, but that very yeasty, very airy donut.
Yeah, I love the donut.
I love that style of donut, and I feel like that style of donut is like exclusively glazed. And sometimes, and this is my actual favorite donut, is I can find a cinnamon sugar donut that is that style of donut.
Same donut.
And that's my favorite donut.
The Dunkin' Donuts here, they will make those glazed donuts with different toppings. Especially those donuts with cereal toppings are pretty common when we go to Dunkin' Donuts. So
honestly, I want a glazed donut minus the glaze. I literally just want you to give me that fried dough.
Exactly. Like that,
and we can call it there. We can be done. I don't need the glaze.
I feel the same way. But like I said, my husband, I guess, didn't realize because I love donuts so much. That's like literally the only kind of donut I don't like. Which I think is why I was so emotional about it. I'm like, I would literally eat any other donut. Any of them.
I'm not a huge fan of cake donuts. I don't like the very cakey ones.
I like all pastries, so I'm just like, this is just a fried cake, and I'm down with it.
Yeah, I'm just not a huge cake guy in general.
That's fair.
Although I do like a nice red velvet cake. I can do red velvet. That's okay. The zebra cake reminded me that I don't really like that kind of stuff very much, but sometimes it sounds so good and the first bite is good, and then I take a second bite and I go, oh yeah, I don't like this.
So a fun fact is that when making cake, you can replace the milk in the recipe with many different forms of liquid, including soda.
I have had soda cake, and they're very good.
Red velvet apparently pairs really well with Coke and Dr. Pepper.
I could see it.
So I have made that before. I first tried this out because I wanted strawberry cake. And we got we were like buying soda that day, and there was a strawberry soda, and I looked at the strawberry soda and I was like, well, I mean, if I can replace milk with Coke for a red velvet, why not strawberry soda in my strawberry cake? It was tasty. Hey yo, Gwenna and Will.
I do absolutely love it. One of my favorite desserts in general. Yeah.
Let me catch up with chat so we can get their donut things. I have recently been learning more about trigger warnings, and I definitely have to include at least 2 in my novel, maybe more like 3. I had a slight conversation with my daughter, not like explicitly about trigger warnings, but kind of like the idea of why trigger warnings are needed. Because so on a day when she was sick, she wanted to she likes to mess with me about trying to watch certain movies. And every time she goes to type in Goosebumps, the movie Boy pops up. And from the like movie poster alone, I was like, no. I was like, that looks like a psychological thriller that you are too young for. And she was like, "Oh, are you sure?" And in fairness, I looked it up. I stand by my.
What's the movie?
It's called Good Boy. Essentially, the synopsis is this woman starts dating this billionaire, forgot, stupid rich man, right?
Yeah.
Stupidly rich, doesn't matter. So, and he has a guy there in a dog suit that he treats as a dog. She's like, okay, weird kink thing. I can live with this. I'm like, oh, how accepting of her. But this is a horror movie. She finds out the man is not there willingly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, definitely not watching that with my.
No.
We've got to work our way up to that kind of psychological thriller.
Yeah.
Well, next to it was Silent Hill, and she's like, "Can we watch Silent Hill?" And I was like, "Yeah, no, that one's fine." And she's like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Let me tell you, I told my sister and my mom both this, and I'm like, and I did a mom fuck up that day. My sister immediately knew what I did. My mother thought she knew what I did, but she wasn't sure, so she just let me continue. I mixed up Silent Hill and Resident Evil.
Oh.
Resident Evil is an action horror,
yes.
Much like Aliens and stuff.
Mhm.
It's where the scariness of the movie is a monster trying to kill you and the heroes killing the monster. My children can handle that super well.
Sure.
Silent Hill is a psychological thriller that's quite fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, my daughter was fine, so it's fine. She just didn't have any nightmares, didn't have any things. We had discussions and stuff while we watched it, as we usually do.
Mhm.
I did accidentally avoid a question, but she forgot it very quickly, so it doesn't matter. There's like a part where it's telling the like origin story of the monster and it's a little girl, and it's like everyone was mean to her and stuff, and then it's like no one was there to protect her, and it shows this janitor looking at her really creepy, and then like the screen fades to black, and she's like, "What happened to her?" And I'm like, how to explain? But then they started talking about something else, and she was very quickly distracted. And I'm like,
we don't need to worry about what happened to her.
It's fine. It's fine. So, yeah, there was also this part in the movie where, like, they're going down this building, and my daughter's like, is that hell? And I'm like, no, I don't think it's hell. And then later, they, like, do this thing. I'm like, oh, no, that's definitely hell. And she's like, yeah, I thought it was hell.
Thought it was hell.
Happy with herself.
I knew it.
I'm like,
I know hell when I see it.
This child, like, pyramid head.
Yeah.
Trigger warning for some explicit gore here. Like, rips the skin off a woman.
Oh, God.
My daughter's just like, see, they should have taken her into the thing to keep her safe. I'm like, this is my child. This is me watching horror movies. This is my child. Well, then, like, after that, we go to pick a movie. I'm like, why don't we watch All Dogs Go to Heaven? And she looks at me and she's like, what? And I'm like, I know how I'm going to have to describe this movie to get her to watch it. And I'm like, it's a movie about dead dogs. She looks at me horrified. Why would I suggest a movie about dead dogs? And then I'm like, but it's okay because all of them go to heaven and stuff. And I'm like, and Charlie, the main dog, he's like got to get his guardian angel wings, so he's got to protect this little girl from cat Satan. And she was like, cat Satan? I'm like, yes, Satan takes the form of a very handsome red cat. It's like weirdly handsome red cat. And she's like, why would you want me to watch? I'm like, you just watched a guy with a pyramid for a head rip the skin off a lady, did not flinch. This is your line.
This is the line.
And she's like, we could watch it. We start watching it, right? It goes through this part. And then we get to the rat races, which, just for clarity, there's nothing horrifying about this movie. This movie is fine. It's a little dark, but it's a kid's movie from the 90s and 2000s. It's fine.
Yeah.
But she's like, what are they doing? And I'm like, what do you think they're doing? And she's like, I'm like, it's the rat races. The rats are racing, and they've got like some oil and stuff to like trick them up, but it's just cartoon violence. So the rats are fine. It's just silly looking.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, what are the dogs doing? And I'm like, they're gambling, so they're cheering on the rat they want to win. And she's like, why are the dogs gambling? I'm
like, gambling, huh? That's the...
You've got some interesting lines. And of course, I tell my husband that she is more horrified by the dogs gambling than anything. And he's like, as she should be. Gambler is not to be taken lightly. And I'm like, I forgot who the other person raising her was. So I explained to her that gambling on its own is fine. It's the addiction to gambling and the not knowing and sticking to your limits that can cause issues. And she was like, okay. Like, she didn't believe me.
Yeah.
But she wasn't going to argue with me. And I'm like, just what? I don't. So, now I know I will have to figure out what the heck to do for that in my fairy book, because fairies are malicious. Some kind of general statement, I think, starts in this video. Yes, fairies, the fae are malicious. My sister and I, while watching Critical Role, paused it so that we could have a debate discussion on demons and fae and who are actually more trustworthy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, demons have to stick to contracts, though. I'm like, and the fae specifically, their entire word system is developed, like, they can't lie, so their like culture is built around learning to lie with the truth.
Right.
I'm like, I'll stick with the demon. They gotta stick to the word of that contract. So I'm like, but the things that we discussed. Glazed jelly donuts are my favorite. They are good. I hate the powdery cake donuts. Is it because you don't like the flavor, or that I always look like a Coke addict after I eat?
I only like the powdery cake donuts if I have a black coffee with them. Then I like it. Otherwise, don't like it.
Bella got through 70 of the 365 points where words need to get added. Nice. All pastries, please. Yes. Yeah, that's a whole. There's a whole 7-Up cake. It's a thing. Especially I want a beignet.
Love the beignet.
They don't sell beignets around here, so I learned to make them. Because in the Dark Hunter series, a lot of them are located in New Orleans, and they get beignets all the time. I can't read that book series.
Yeah, no, I love them so much.
Any donut with powdered sugar, please. Sorry, JC. I can't have desserts. The amount of sugar messes with my stomach. There's only one kind of donut I'll risk the upset stomach. That's very fair. Hi, Gwenna. Got another 200 words that sprint. Also having to take it slow because it's hot, spicy time for the main characters. We've been discussing food, so I thought you're eating hot, spicy food.
I did immediately go to like, ooh, like a nice curry or like a salsa.
Yeah, I'm like, did you get the Korean ramen? Because don't believe it, all of them are spicy.
The budak, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Bulldog.
Yeah, delicious stuff.
I think that's how you say it.
It is a chemical waste, but it is delicious chemical waste.
But yay, hot spicy time for the characters. I don't buy the donuts in this family, though. I try to keep my cholesterol in check. That's fair. Donuts are not what you go to if you're trying to maintain good, healthy things. No. Also, replacing milk with soda in cooking, in baking. I want to be very clear.
Yo, this Alfredo about to go crazy.
In baking cakes, specifically.
Yeah.
I don't know how well, like, a lot of cookies don't need milk, so there's not really. Although another fun fact is you can replace, for cookies, I want to be specific again, for cookies, a lot of flour things can be replaced with banana. So instead of adding flour, you can add banana. I've made pancakes that way. I've made some cookies that way. I just made Chris like oatmeal, banana, cranberry cookies. So no apologies necessary, Heaven. We like what we like. Exactly. I hate any powdered donut, period. They just don't. Okay, so same with me and the glaze. Got you. So did I say all the foodies here? We'd be like,
we're all
ooh,
just like,
that's
hungry?
spicy
Hungry?
time.
Food?
I immediately thought he was talking about spicy food. No, although the first novel has a scene where the main character is trying hot peppers. RP's series has spice for your foodies and your thirsties. He provides.
Speaking of chilies, I'm growing some Thai chilies so that I can make my absolute favorite condiment for shrimp, which is Thai chilies, fresh ginger, fresh garlic with fresh squeezed orange juice, and then you just dip the shrimp in it. So good. But yeah, the dessert I love with my whole heart, if you've ever had it, is olive oil cake.
I have never had olive oil.
Olive oil cake goes so hard because it's not super sweet, but it's kind of sweet. And you do it with fresh berries, and it's super dense. And you do the
I heard berries. That's all I needed.
Yeah, fresh berries, fresh whipped cream, little mint, little basil, olive oil cake goes so crazy.
I'll try.
Now just like the one dessert that I will go bananas about.
Oh, Matt, you know how you like crunchy drinks?
Yeah. I love a drink I can chew.
I may have a dessert that you would enjoy. So
Yes.
we have a bakery, new to us, don't know how long the bakery's been there. And it had tres leches in a cup. I wasn't sure how that would function because I could not see any cake in it. And I was like, all right. Well, one of my children got that one. I got a piece of banana dulce de leche cake because I was like, it's a caramel banana cake. I'm going to like it, and it will be acceptable if the child does not like their tres leches. We did end up trading because, like, my child ate it, and their face went through a range of emotions, landing on, I don't like the texture. And I was like, that's fair. So I started eating it with the spoon. The cake was just soaked into the cup.
Oh.
And
yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
the texture is much the same as when I'm dumping. Well, when I was younger, because I wasn't as skilled as I am as an adult, but when I would dunk cookies and pieces of the cookies would fall in, and then you go to drink it and you got to scoop. Same texture. So I'm like, I'm already familiar with this, and so it was such a delicious treat. And I know Chris liked it because I gave him a taste, and then he got mad that I ate all of my dessert. He always says this to me. He gets a dessert, I get a dessert. If I eat all of my dessert, he's mad I didn't get full.
I feel that.
And I'm like, sir, no. I gave him like the bottom of it because if I drink too much milk, I don't feel good. So I was already looking at it like, I don't know if I can finish you off. But I don't want to put you in the fridge. There's an awkward amount in there. So then when he complained, I was like, please drink, eat the rest of it. But I was like, Matt would like this.
I would. I'm fine with any texture of anything.
JC said I wanted to try olive oil cake, but haven't. But then Matt, you just said it's not sweet, so never mind.
It's sweet. It's just not like cake sweet. It's not very sweet by cake standards, but it's still sweet.
To be fair, in my experience, the cake itself is rarely ever super sweet. It's always the frosting or whatever.
The frosting is crazy. That's my big problem with cake is I don't like frosting.
So many people in my family don't like frosting that when we do birthday cakes now, we just put the jar of frosting next to the cake and just frost the cake at your preference.
That I could get behind. Because I will say I do like a cream cheese icing. Yeah, it does have an olive oil flavor to it.
Do you like custard?
Love custard.
Have you had flan?
Yeah, love flan.
Flan's amazing. Chris gave me a taste of the flan from that bakery. Next time we do a writing retreat, we're getting a bunch of things from that bakery and taking it in a cooler to the retreat.
Yeah, no,
Chris is like, he's like, when we go to the bakery, we got to get a whole cake of this flan. I'm like, they only sold it little. I think we have to custom order a big cake. And he's like, price it. He was also like, how much was everything? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't pay. My sister treated us. And
Yeah.
he was like, well, ask her. I'm like, she didn't keep a receipt. And he's like, oh, and I'm like, hold on. She had sent me pictures of the bakery cases before we went. So I went and I checked those. And I'm like, sir.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know everything was less than, like, most of the things I looked at were less than $5.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's like everything's less than $5 except the cake pieces are $7, but the cake pieces are like,
yeah, like a big ass
like,
wedge.
They're huge.
Yeah.
They're 3 layers.
Mm-hmm.
So that honestly doesn't even sound appetizing to me.
It's interesting dessert
questionable
for sure. It's questionable.
With the olive oil, I was questionable, but as I said, I will try anything. And then Matt said berries, and I'm like, that's all I need in life.
Yeah, it's by itself, like, it doesn't have a ton of flavor. It's not super sweet, but it complements the berries and the whipped cream and the herbs really, really well.
Yeah, see, for me, I'm like, as long as I can eat the fruit, then we're good.
It's a great base for other sweet stuff.
My youngest and I, so she is a chocoholic like me. Also, that's a real word.
Oh.
My mother told me it was a real word, and I was like, what? And then I looked it up, and I'm like, it's a real word. And she's like, yes, it's been around since I was a kid. And I'm like, you think you make up a word, and somebody else has already made it up. But yeah, so I've got some nice chocolates because like for almost every holiday now, somebody gives me a basket of chocolates, and I do not complain.
No.
Well, she helps me eat them all because my migraines make it hard to eat some of them sometimes. And she gave me this one. She bit the first half because my children are weird about germs. I don't care. I gave them their germs. So she bites half of it, hands the other half to me, and I look at it, and I'm looking at it real suspiciously, and she's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, what does it taste like to you? And then she told me, I'm like, okay. And then I tasted it, and I was like, yes, it tastes very English toffee-like. That's fine. And she's like, what did you think it was? And I'm like, it looked like it could be coconut. And she's like, I love coconut. And I'm like, I know you love coconut. And she's like, don't you like coconut? And I'm like, not really, but I'm learning to like coconut.
Love
and
coconut.
She was like, why are you learning to like coconut? And I was like, too many chocolates in this world have coconut for me to dislike coconut. And she was like, okay.
So like, I'll allow it. No, I love coconut so much.
For me, I enjoy coconut in the coquito my husband makes, and there's these at the international market. There are these sodas, these little jelly cubes in them, and one of them's coconut, and I actually really like that one, the flavor.
Yeah.
I could do without the jellies just because there's so many of them. I'm like, I don't mind weird things in my drink like that.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want a lot of them because I get tired of them after a while. I'm like, I want to drink. I want to be able to drink without also eating sometimes.
I always want to be chewing.
RP loves him some coconut. I'll just give my extra to you. RP's only half paying attention because I'm also trying to think of stuff for the character spicy time, and then I just hear olive oil cake.
Have them eat some olive oil cake before the spicy time.
I mean, there are oils that can be used during spicy time.
I mean, it's not much of a leap.
9+ messages. Who's messaging me? Oh, okay, my husband.
I really want a cannoli now, too. A cannoli sounds fantastic.
Hold on, he has some opinions on coconut. One does not learn to like coconut. One instead tosses the coconut into the fires of hell. Coconut can die. Remove it from existence. Fuck coconut. Traitor to all. Did I ask for coconut slivers in my cookie dough ice cream? No, I asked for fucking chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream. To be fair, for something like that, they should warn you.
They should warn you.
Like,
what if people are allergic to coconut?
Yeah, I was about to say, what if I have a coconut allergy? That is a thing.
But no, my literal favorite ice cream flavor is coconut chocolate chip.
He said, did I want fuzzy, crunchy garbage in my foods? No, fuck coconut. Let it die.
I might need to go tomorrow and get a gallon of coconut chocolate chip ice cream.
You just send
so
Fox a picture of you eating it.
Oh, it's so good. I'm not a huge ice cream guy. That is an ice cream that I will bash.
As long as you use non-extra virgin olive oil, that can be used in a lot of different baking projects. Evo tends to smoke easily.
Yeah, EVO has a really not very high smoke point.
Spicy time already started, and they're in the shower, so oils are not coming into play in the spicy time right now.
But cake
oil and butter don't mix for this. Fox is going to remove Matt from everything. Bye, Matt. Sucks to be you, Matt. No more Matt May.
Fox,
no
please.
Matt.
It's
I mean,
coconut's so good.
After he used 10 minutes of his billable work hours to make this, have you noticed the updated?
Yeah, no, I love it. Yay? Question mark.
Like he said that he's like, it's a bit late, but whatever. I'm like, that has never stopped me before.
Yeah, no, absolutely fantastic.
And then I was like, well, if last year and this year are any indication, next year will also be Matt May, and
Good
Fox
chance.
was just like, he's now contractually obligated. I used 10 minutes of my billable work hours, and I was like,
okay, well, with this being my month, I have to speak my truths, and my truths are that coconut is fantastic. It's such a unique flavor. And
I have to
sit with so many great things.
I have to sit on Apple Butter Tower, where I rule the Apple Butter Kingdom from, because we are the Sweden of food.
Yeah.
And like, everybody likes it.
Everybody loves the apple butter. But coconut, it pairs with pineapple. It pairs with citrus. It pairs with chocolate.
Does it pair with apple butter?
That might be a tough sell. No, I think it could work because.
Fuck your truth, Matt.
Because coconut pairs well with spiced rum, and spiced rum has those warm spices that you'll also find in apple butter. So I think you could get the coconut to work with the apple butter.
My daughter is starting to go to the camp that my little sister is in which I can't be trusted when it comes to food combination opinions in general. Because today, I really like banana peanut butter sandwiches. Right? That's not a weird food. No. That's a fairly common food.
Yeah.
It's a weirdly common food for people to find weird with how common it is.
Yeah.
But, I was like yesterday, because we made the banana oatmeal cookies, we had to mash the banana to make the oatmeal cookie. And then I was like, wait a second. What if I mash the banana and then mix it with the peanut butter, and then I have a bit, that'll be a lot easier to put on my sandwich than trying to balance the slices, right?
Yeah.
I was like, this is genius. And then for some reason, I really wanted Cheetos. So I had Cheetos while I ate my sandwich. And then at some point, I just took the Cheeto and I dipped it into the banana peanut butter and I ate it. My daughter saw me doing this earlier and she just looked at me and I dipped one and I handed it to her. And she was like so distrusting, but she knows that I've given her some weird combinations before that she really likes. So she bit it and she ate it and she slowly chews it. Her expression not changing, and she's like, I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, valid. And then she just left.
Yeah, that feels
and to be clear, I would not put cheese on the sandwich because I don't think that would go. The Cheetos specifically.
That feels like mixing red with 7. Just not the same genre of thing.
It's not, but I really like chips with my sandwiches, and we only had little bags of Cheetos. And sometimes I'm like,
I would rather Cheetos?
I'm like, sometimes I would rather have the idea of something than
Oh yeah, I mean you gotta try it.
And it was good. So normally I would prefer barbecue chips with my.
Now we're talking.
See,
Barbecue.
now you get it.
Barbecue
But
chips on that sandwich, I can get there.
Yeah, that's what I usually have. Barbecue
Yeah,
or
hell
corn
yeah.
chips. Those are my two flavors I go to for that. But I didn't have either, and all I had was Cheetos. So
Yeah, I trust. It doesn't sound good, but I trust you.
objectively wrong, but spiritually right about coconut.
Coconut is a spiritual food, and I won't say anything else to support that statement. I'm just gonna let it lie.
That's like sometimes I'll send CB like a screenshot or something from a character, and I'll be like, "This has CB vibes," and I will be taking no more questions.
Yep. No questions, no answers. Statement done.
Especially if the character is making like a statement that's all like beg for me or something because of how many times she said those things on stream.
Yeah.
So I will just be like, this is you, and I will be taking no more questions. That was me as well. My mind was on something else when I heard it. You can also use mayo for a fat in some dessert. Oh, yes!
Yeah.
Chris really likes to use mayo as the fat for grilled cheese.
Yes,
Like,
mayo is fantastic for toasting bread.
Yes. It like fries easier.
Mm-hmm.
Objective, but yes, about coconut. Oh shit! I just realized that the Writing Sprints logo was changed. I stealth changed it during the sprint. So.
I noticed it and then forgot to comment on it.
Coconut rum plus pineapple juice as a beverage with your apple butter delicacy.
Exactly.
Oh, now that sounds like a good idea, Eva. That feels like a pregnancy craving type of thing, which is my assumption for how all weird snacks were made. To be fair, when I was pregnant, I craved very normal foods. I only crave weird foods when I wasn't pregnant. That's just my normal state of being. My sister, however, my child-free forever sister, every time me or my little sister was pregnant, she would get weird cravings. She'd get them even before we knew we were pregnant too. So it was funny. So she'd start getting weird cravings and she'd look at one of us and she'd be like, which one is it? And I'm like, this kitchen's closed. But I live in Tampa Bay, Florida. If you're going to visit, I hope you love flan. It's everywhere around here. Yes. My husband is from Miami, so we get very excited every time, like, because we're getting a lot more. When I was growing up, we didn't have a lot of Hispanic food places around here, but we had like a lot of different Asians. So we had like Korean food places, Chinese food places. We had a Vietnamese place, which we have even more of those now. Like those never went away. Now, and also German places because. Ooh. We're a military town, and a lot of our soldiers were stationed in Germany or Asia. But now we're getting essentially a lot of Southerners moving up. So we're now getting the different Southern cultures here. So we're getting a lot of like Caribbean and Hispanic culture things. Yeah. So we are getting like the bakery. I'll say it's specifically a Mexican bakery. So it's great because I love all foods.
Yeah.
And our children are getting so spoiled because they love all foods. I actually, when my daughter and I were running errands, I had a nasty migraine. And there is a German bakery on the way in between the errands I needed to run. So I was like, let me take you to the best coffee shop in town. And we drank it. She's like, Mom, the coffee doesn't taste burnt. And I'm like, my God. Sometimes I will get coffee from a fast food place just because I have a bad migraine and anything will do. And she has noticed that the fast food coffees, mostly, they all have that burnt because the coffee sits there for so long.
Yeah.
So I had to explain that to her. She was like, this coffee is just so good. I like coffee. I just don't like it when it tastes burnt. I'm like, most people don't like it when it tastes burnt. Also, if you wouldn't drink my coffee, you wouldn't know this, but you still do. Like, she would drink it, and then she would go away, and then she would come back and ask for another taste and drink it, and then go away. She had, like, 4 drinks of that specific coffee. Every time she'd tell me, it tastes a little burnt. I'm like, why do you keep drinking it? I know why. I know why I'm still drinking it, because I have a migraine, and it helps. Why are you still drinking it? I never experienced weird cravings with pregnancy, so my theory is that those humans just use pregnancy as an excuse to... I wonder that, too. People will give you so much grief for the way you eat, you know? Yeah. I did eat a lot of Almond Joy candy bars, though. I think, did I crave coconut? That is a good question. I love your pregnancy snack theory. I think it holds weight. All right, now to see what fuck, because I have so many all caps messages here. Coconut pairs with nothing. Coconut serves one purpose, and is to clip clop like a horse. You do clip clop the food. Coconut as a word has cocoa in it, yet there is no chocolate. Coconut as a word has nut in it, and yeah, nuts are gross. Case
What?
I don't know. I didn't know that he hated all nuts.
Nah, nuts rock.
There's nothing spiritual about a fake food that's designed by nature to betray expectations and hide itself in otherwise good foods. The heresy, blasphemy even. Wow, now we're betraying bread by putting mayo on it. I give up. That's normal, Fox.
Yeah, like I'm not even a big mayonnaise guy, but like if
There's
mayonnaise
no
is gonna
bread
be
that's like
anywhere, I feel like
only sorrow.
bread is like the most likely place for it to show up.
Also, I like mayo, but mayo and mayonnaise because they are technically two different things. But like when you use it to toast bread, it burns away. You do not taste it. It is gone. Excuse me. Except to clip clop like a horse. I was going to say something else, and no. Oh, not to support Fox's hatred of coconuts, but the statistics are that coconuts are extremely murderous food.
Mm-hmm.
They do, in fact, kill more people every year than sharks do.
And isn't that great?
They're just taking out the people
Yeah.
who don't know not to stand under a coconut tree.
Right. Like, come on.
I mean, I do think them being a murderous fruit would make Fox tolerate them at the very
like
least.
that seems like a positive. Cows also kill people. And
I was wondering where you were going with that. I was like, I don't know that cows have an opinion on coconut.
and they're delicious. Cows are delicious and they kill people.
Sources. Hold on. I'll go find
Sharks also kill people and sharks are delicious. So I think killing people...
It has been proven that the majority of shark bites happen because they're test biting humans to figure out what the fuck they are. Because they don't know what people are.
They're just confused little guys.
We actually taste horrible to them, so they don't want to eat us.
Yep.
Statistic. We should be going into a sprint, but hold on. Statistics.
But there's so many delicious, deadly foods.
Murder. Death by Coconut has its own Wikipedia page, which isn't necessarily a reliable source. I just did not expect it. Coconuts falling from their trees and striking individuals can cause serious injury to the back, neck, shoulders, and head, and are occasionally fatal. Following a 1984 study on injuries due to falling coconuts, exaggerated claims spread concerning the number of deaths by falling coconuts. Falling coconuts, according to urban legend, kill a few people a year. This legend gained momentum after the 2002 work of a noted expert on shark attacks was characterized as saying that falling coconuts kill 150 people each year worldwide. This statistic has often been contrasted with the number of shark-caused deaths per year, which is around 5. That is a low number.
Yeah.
But that does mean that coconuts only have to kill 6 people for my statement to be true. Yeah. So...
and we can make that happen.
Concerns about the risk of fatality due to falling coconuts led local officials in Queensland, Australia, to remove coconut trees from beaches in 2002. One newspaper dubbed coconuts the killer fruit. Historical reports of actual death by coconut nevertheless date back to 1770s. Okay, so yes, coconuts do kill people.
Yeah.
Not necessarily as exaggerated as other people claim. I have never claimed a number. I just want it out there. Just more than sharks, which is 6 or more. Death by coconut can also occur as sudden cardiac death caused by hyperkalemia after consuming moderate to large quantities of coconut water due to its high potassium level. Although rare, cases have also been reported of anaphylaxis among patients with a food allergy to coconut. All right, but I would not count those deaths as a comparison to shark attacks.
No.
That's allergy. So
Yeah.
I like that we are all in agreement to like figure this out. Because we are about accuracy on this channel, not necessarily being correct. Coconut fruit come from the coconut palm. Yeah. I don't need the history. I just want the truth.
Pretty much
over a course of 4 years in Papua New Guinea, 2.5% of trauma admissions were for those injured by falling coconuts. None were fatal. He mentioned two anacetal reports of death, one several years before. That figure of 2 deaths went on to be misquoted as 150 worldwide. that's yeah.
I also believe, really, as just a good general rule of thumb, any food that looks like a rock is good. Nuts, good. Shellfish, like bivalves, I think they're called. That specific family of mollusk, delicious. Snails, delicious. If it's a rock, it's tasty.
Okay, so this is something that has been reported. I don't know if this is true, but the New York Times noted that falling coconuts could strike a person on the ground with a force of almost 2,000 pounds. That's a lot, if true.
I'd like to see an apple butter do that.
Excuse you, my apple butter doesn't murder. We are Switzerland.
Like, we don't have an alternative to the coconut to go to war against.
Apparently, it is anti or pro coconut. That is the war.
Yeah, that is the war. There's no like coconut alternative.
Okay, so coconuts have killed people before. It looks like the average would be 2 a year.
We gotta.
It's weird. It's when it happens, it's like 2 a year.
Yeah.
But then there are quite a few years that are skipped. So no, sharks still kill double the amount of people. I can't defend sharks with coconut deaths anymore.
But again, we could fix that.
How many sharks did coconuts kill? That is a good question, and we may never know.
Yeah.
Sharks mysteriously don't report their own cause of death.
Yeah.
Someone being mauled by a shark doesn't care about those details.
Perhaps
they don't want to eat you. They're just tasty. I mean, here's the thing. If they bite you and you don't fight against them, they go away. If they bite you and you fight against them, they keep biting you. So I'm like, I want to know these details so that I can know how to increase my chances of survival. Do coconuts save people too?
Yes.
No, but we do have reports of sharks saving people. So maybe it's about balancing the pros and cons. I was a part-time vegetarian before I got pregnant with my son. Guess what I craved so badly? Hamburgers and shakes. I was disappointed, but they were so good. With my final pregnancy, I craved chocolate every single day. But if I ate even a bite of chocolate, I would upchuck. Oh, and that was the cruelest time to exist in my life.
Yeah.
For me. I'm going to catch up with chat real quick, then we'll sprint. In December 2022, a 49-year-old man died the day after he was hit by a falling coconut in India. In February 2023, a farmer in Bethagari, Karnataka, I said that so wrong, I'm sorry, India was killed when a coconut fell on his head while he was picking coconuts. Yeah, coconuts are giant seeds. They are. When they pick coconuts, they have one person on top of the palm pull it down and they just drop it, and then the other person like has a blanket and catches it, and fucking the amount of force is terrible. I was like, I would not want to be the one on the ground. If it's a rock, it's tasty. Correct. I don't want the history. I just want the truth. God, I want this on a t-shirt. This is my catchphrase with my sister when she goes on into things. That would be an amazing shirt. Hey, the history is not always the truth. So BK loved me, or Checkers and BK loved me in 23. All right. Halfway there. Hold on.
Ocean for sharks and coconuts.
You know, that was actually not on purpose. I wish I could claim it was.
Yeah.
But I just, maybe it was subconscious.
Yeah. It was meant to be. Because coconuts are a spiritual food.
You can count us down. I got it.
3.
I have 9+ messages. I don't know what's going to happen.
Buck is going to ban me is what's going to happen. 1, go.
I did such dumb. I was like, oh yes, here's the timer. Where did our restream tab go?
Oh.
Restream tab with the timer.
Yes.
But
Yes,
I
indeed.
found us. How did everybody do? I finished watching that video for my friend. I looked at somebody's uh, story concept because they wanted to know if they should do 2 or 3 books. So they sent me like their reasons. I looked over that, talked to them, well, gave my opinion, and then I was like, "There's 5 minutes left. Let me start rewatching the Sailor Moon Let's Talks." I want to rewatch them because it's been like 2 years.
Yeah.
And A, get a feel for the way we did them, and B, sort of, just remember how they wrote, because like it's already going to change a little bit now that I'm using Restream instead of StreamYard, but I don't want it to be like jarringly different.
Yeah.
So also
I feel.
give me some lessons, some unnecessary work, because it's like I already have a format and it's like there, and I might update the format or improve it a little bit, but it still gives me a foundation to work with.
Mm-hmm.
I was so excited during the first one. I was like, I hope everyone's even mildly interested because I'm so interested. I had rewatched the first season of the 90s one, Crystal. I reread the manga and I'm like telling everybody about that. So, gave the history of the series. I was excited.
Yeah.
And I know I'm going to find myself really funny when I get to the Let's Talk where we talk about Sailor Moon season 4,
Mm-hmm.
because that was when Crystal's animation changed a little bit and Darien became so pretty. He's just too pretty for me to exist. I did
Yeah.
a slideshow about how pretty he was, or like a little Milo Note screen share, and I'm like, I can't wait to watch that part first.
Yeah.
When I get there.
Rock.
I'm like mildly terrible, I guess, because a lot of people, when they're like, "Oh, I have to like rewatch me or something," it's like I hate watching myself and I feel I'm so cringe, and I'm like, I'm funny, I'm great. My voice sounds different, but that's fine. That's just
Yeah.
associate a little
I
better.
do really, and I know like literally everyone, but like I do hate hearing my voice on replay. Like, not a
I
fan.
don't mind it. I recognize, like, it's weird because I'm like, that's not me, but that's my voice on camera.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, like I mean I've
Could also be
accepted.
saying that like I do funny voices and stuff all day long. So this might be one of these things. I got to 93 of 365, pretty good, but I still have to make the language for the other race of humanoid bats because I have some words I need, but that's a task for another day. That's fair. I will say that my bird humanoid language is sounding a lot like Japanese, just with the words and the language I'm using. When you showed me the spelling, that was my knee jerk, was to try it out in the Japanese phonetics. So.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Matt, you might want to go check your Discord name. Fox told
My
me
Discord name?
the one in the server. Why do you look so concerned? I was informed you were banned in writing, but I didn't understand what he meant until he sent me a screenshot.
You know, a lot of good people have been persecuted. You know?
It's okay. I'll leave it until me tagging you becomes increasingly more
difficult.
And then I will either give you a role that's just you that I tag, like I did for CV, or I'll edit it. The most important thing to me is that when I go at and I type the M, Matt's name pops.
Yeah.
I would like type at and then put CV and nothing would pop up, and I'm like, where the fuck did she go? I can read down V nonsense.
Yeah.
fine, he says. Criminal, I say.
Hey, I'm just saying, the law isn't always correct morally. So come
This
at
is
my
true.
coconut.
I have had that conversation with my children recently when we were talking about something, and my children goes, "Isn't that illegal?" And I was like, "Sometimes the law is wrong."
That is correct.
They were like, oh, "Okay." Just over 200 words that time. Spicy time is going great if you're either main character. Oh, that reminds me, as of right now, the bird race is called Soupier. Oh, Soupier. Ah, I was close. And I'm thinking the language will be superior. I like how it sounds.
Yeah.
But this is just temporary. We'll see how I feel about it. That's fair. Also, for clarity, so that nobody comes for me, neither me nor my husband were doing anything illegal. We were speaking of weed medicinally, and that is illegal some places and not other places, and that's what the conversation was about. So I don't want anybody using the stream as proof that I'm breaking the
You're
law.
committing crimes.
You'll get no direct evidence of that from me.
No. No, we don't do crimes.
We don't. We are 100% above board. We are sweet angel babies who don't do any crimes, food or otherwise.
No. And yet I'm persecuted all the same for my love of coconut.
That's okay. Foxlandia can label you
an enemy of the
criminal,
state.
But you are still welcome in the realm, for we are the Apple Butter Empire.
Apple Butter Empire.
We welcome all food refugees.
I can't believe
Right.
Fox doesn't like coconut. Because we agree on cornbread supremacy, and yet coconut.
Coconut and cornbread are vastly different foods, my friend.
Vastly, I would argue they both start with CO.
That does not make them the same.
I mean,
because as Fox pointed out, coconut has cocoa in it, but no chocolate.
This is true. Although the husk has kind of a milk chocolatey color to it.
Like milk chocolate, usually.
It doesn't taste like it, but similar shades of brown.
Yes, but it's also hairy, so it looks like if you dropped them.
Some things are hairy. We don't judge the coconut for its hair.
I'm just saying, I don't know of a hairy chocolate that's tasty. I'm willing to be proven wrong, but superior. I accidentally added the R at the end, so it's superior. Well, whether it's superior or superior. Wait, I meant to say superior or superior, but because of my southern accent, it smashed superior, so it just sounded like I said superior twice. Matt, I think you have frozen.
No, I'm sorry. I'm playing with a piece of metal and playing with the reflection.
No.
I was trying to put it on the camera and see if it did anything, and it doesn't really. But you can see it.
Fox needs to know: do you like chunky or not chunky? Because y'all may not be able to exist on the same continent.
For peanut butter?
No, he knows you're Captain Smooth peanut butter.
Yeah. Chunky or smooth what?
Cornbread.
I like both. I assume chunky meaning like cornbread with like actual pieces of corn in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like both. There's not a cornbread I don't like. I like sweet cornbread. I like unsweet cornbread.
Yeah. Fox, Matt is like me. We just love all cornbread.
All cornbread is good cornbread. There's no such thing as bad.
Do you have a preference though? If you were like, oh, you can only have one cornbread with this meal, which would you pick?
So for me, it depends on the meal. So like, for example, say I'm having like soup beans, I want a drier, not drier, a less sweet cornbread. But like with fried fish, I kind of like a sweeter cornbread because I think the sweetness helps cut the fish fatter.
He says both is acceptable.
Yeah. Both. There is no wrong cornbread.
But with that, with another chapter to the food wars
In the
added,
food wars.
I will eventually have to go on the mile and add the cocoa.
The coconut wars, which canonically has casualties.
Yeah, the coconut. What did I want? The coconut massacre. I was trying to think of one that started with this. The coconut killings.
The coconut killings of Matt May.
Coconut cullings.
Ooh.
See, I got there. But it is, in fact, quite a bit past our shit. Normally we go a couple minutes. We've gone quite a bit.
Yeah.
Matt and I cannot be trusted to talk about food by ourselves.
If you start on, if food comes up, it's gonna be a while.
If there's a third person, I'll be like, okay, I'm in charge. I need to rein people in. But if it's just me and you, I'm like,
we can talk food for 9 hours. Yeah.
Fine. Bella likes corn cake. Don't know if that's considered cornbread. That is a good question.
That is a good question.
We'll have to figure that out later. Yeah. I think probably not.
We'll send this to the elders, and they will confer.
The elders being my search results. Cornbread versus corn cake. This feels like this. It feels like corn cake might just be cornbread in the shape of a cupcake. But like also it could just be cake like corn. Or corn flavored cake.
It could also be a case of like people calling it different. Yeah, like what might be called cornbread somewhere would be called corn cake somewhere else. Could also be a factor here. Because I mean, like to me, like a sweet cornbread is. I mean, we are approaching cake. I feel that it's different, but I could see how you could get there.
Okay, so the breakdown I found mildly questionable. Okay, so it says there, like, primarily there are two different things. Like, corn cake tends to be lighter and more moist with a texture similar to cake. It says corn cake is typically sweeter, often containing more sugar and sometimes honey. Now, my issue with this is they're like, typically southern cornbread is less sweet. And I'm like, excuse you? Who's adding honey to cornbread if not the South?
Yeah, like
I'm confused.
And also, both types of cornbread just exist within the South. They're just two different kinds of cornbread.
What the fuck? What you mean the North's cornbread? The North does the North have cornbread? I mean, I know they probably do, but I'm like.
But do they?
Question. But okay, so yeah, cornbread and corn cake are the same thing. Because they're like, oh, cornbread or corn cake might have honey and or more sugar, and I'm like, that's just sweet cornbread.
Yeah.
So,
honey and cornbread. Yeah, that just
routinely
rips. Is what that is.
That's my favorite way to make cornbread is to add honey in it and then drizzle a little bit of honey on top.
Mm-hmm.
And then scoop chili on it.
Oh,
savory, sweet. Oh, so good. But yes, so with that, corn cake is a type of cornbread. It's
final answer.
Yep. And the internet doesn't know what they're talking about sometimes.
Correct. Just like the law.
Yes. Fox says you and him are allowed to exist in adjacent countries now.
We can share a border. It's just.
That's how you exist. So that's
that's fair.
Bella's gonna work on making a corn cake, and if I make the next writer's retreat, I'll make it for you guys. Nice. All right. So we're gonna go. I don't know why we're counting down, but we're gonna end the stream here. Matt and I are doing a Let's Talk for the Pixar's movie Onward next Monday. And then I have a book talk for Sherilyn Kenyon's Night Embrace in 2 weeks. And yeah, if you missed the last book talk, it happened right before this stream. It was about The False Prince, which is an amazing middle grade. I highly recommend for you, Matt.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, that's it. So bye.